Да, по-любому.
Hello all, welcome to today's TechTalk, Test Design Techniques in a Medical View. My name is Gauhar and I am today's moderator. Let's introduce you our speaker, Rustam Abdullayev, and I'm going to give you the microphone. It's your turn.
Yeah, thank you, Gauhar. Hello, everyone. Before we will start, please take a look of instruction because today's presentation will be more interactive. So please go to menti.com and use the code which you can see on the screen, or use your mobile phone to scan this QR code, because today we will have, as I said, interactively speaking, not as a monologue. So this tool will help us to do it. I'll give a bit of time, maybe a couple of minutes, to entering to Menti.com. After it, I'll proceed to introducing. When you will finish with Menti, please provide some smile, maybe emoji in the chat.
Yeah, let's wait a couple of minutes, and I see that there is a...
Thank you for liking.
Yeah. So many likes. "56 likes. Oh, that's cool."
Okay. I believe most of us joined, and for others who are in process, please proceed by menti.com and use this code, or use your mobile phone to scan this QR. Okay, and let's go to next screen. The topic of our tech talk is test design in a medical view, or as I love to say, way. Okay, here's I am. My name is Rustam. I'm a software testing engineer at EPAM with over 2 years of experience. But before that, I managed to graduate as a doctor and worked in practical dentistry. Yes, it's a very interesting part of my life, and I was owner of the dental practitioner in my city in Almaty in Kazakhstan, and now, in the middle of the two sphere, IT and information technologies and dentistry, I can provide interesting view of how QAs can use their knowledge to not only information technology sphere, but each field in your life. And I believe it will be very valuable for you. And in conclusion, I'll finish this thought. But now, let's proceed to the next screen. Okay. While we're waiting for other participations, provide your thoughts, your feelings, please. How do you feel today? And use Mentimeter for it, please. I feel very well today, and yeah, good. Nice, great, okay, great, thank you, great, fine, good. Yeah, I'll read all your answers. I'll try it. Interested, boring, boring. Really? We will work on it. Positive, interested, yeah, and sleepy. Oh, yeah. Wake up, please. We will talk about medicine, about human body in information technology sphere. It's really interesting. Fine. Okay, still alive. Great, great. Let's proceed to next slide. Oh, feeling great. Yeah, a lot of us. Yeah, nice. Nice, very well, good, kind of sleepy, but great. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. This is our agenda. We will talk about test design techniques and the human body in QAs as a great part of our today's presentation. And in the end of the presentation, before Q&A session, we will share. I prepared a gift for you, which are join the medicine, especially dentistry, with QA. Okay, sphere. So please stay till the end to get it. And after it, Q&A session. Okay, let's start from the first biggest part about techniques, test design techniques. Which one do you know? Okay. Now let's get acquainted with the brief content of our presentation. Okay, but the point is this presentation, this event for a wide range of people. Okay, after the technical design test, we will study what the body consists of and look at it from the point of view of testing. Yes, so if you know, refresh the memory about the design techniques for those who already know about them. And for those who don't know, we will explain everything. Everything. We will give understanding. Don't worry. These are events for, as I said, a wide range of people. Okay. To get engaged. Okay. Nice. Can you hear me? Please provide your yes, optimize resources. Nice, nice. To have the possible effective test for a particular requirement. Yeah, nice, great. Okay. The more opinion we have, the more we can. Okay, I don't know. Nice. You in the right place for it. We will provide understanding for you today. I'll provide it. Improve performance. Yes, right. Find a better approach for test. Nice. Yes. Increase test efficiency. Right. To be more productive. Yes. To get more testing scenarios. Yes. Design better test cases. Yes. Good test coverage. Nice. Yeah, it's right. Okay. Very interesting thoughts. The point is, all your answer are correct. Yes, here's find more issues with case time spent. Yes, right. All the answers are correct. In general, if you combine everything into one succinct phrase, then it sounds like, please see next slide. Identify the largest number, the most serious bugs in conditions of limited resources. Okay, that is, we all understand that if there were an unlimited number of people, resources, money, and time on the project, then probably there would be no design techniques. Since we have a certain budget, a certain number of people, there are always deadlines, so we also always need to prioritize tasks as clearly as possible according to how much they will provide coverage and how serious they are. This phrase covers everything written by you as much as possible. You have written everything correctly. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And now, to provide more explanation and make it more clear for you, I want to provide some historical background for it. I would like to see it a historical example that occurred in 2008 at Heathrow Airport in the USA. A new conveyor was installed there. This conveyor was supposed to serve for the luggage of airline customers. That was customers put the luggage, the conveyor took it, and then it was loaded together with those who went on the flight. But even though the owners of the airport tested the conveyor for more than 12,000 suitcases, can you imagine it? They still missed a serious bug. Serious. Why? When a person put his luggage and suddenly had forgotten something in his luggage and took it back from the conveyor, for the conveyor, this vacated luggage space was empty and he simply didn't know what to do with it, and therefore confused all the luggage. Sorry. Can you hear me? Please write in chat.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, nice. Now I'll share again. Okay, sorry. I felt something wrong, but it's good. Thank you. And returning to our example, and when the conveyor see the empty place, he simply didn't know what to do with it, and therefore confused all the luggage, put it somewhere wrong or not at all accepted. More than 500 flights were cancelled due to this bug. Just imagine how many people, how many finances, but the most important, reputation was lost. That's exactly what the design techniques are needed to avoid such losses. We'll talk about them now. Okay. Now, but let's try a little bit to delve into the topic of techniques. What types there are? Maybe you know some of them or have seen them from colleagues or have heard of some of them somewhere. Write which ones you know, which ones come to your mind first. Yes, here's, feel free to write your thoughts. Don't Google, yeah, domain, okay. I want to see your thoughts. Boundary testing, nice. Okay. State transition. Great. Error guessing, pairwise, model bias, data driven. Good, very good. Here's so professionals, engineers. Error guessing, state transition, yes, yes. Equivalent partition, okay. Partitions. Error guessing, boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning, state transition, pairwise, yes. Equivalence partitioning, I have no idea. Is this right place for you, my friend? Equivalent classes, decision table, nice, nice. All your answers are correct again. Use case, boundary testing, equivalence, all pairs. Okay, nice. First of all, yes, all answers right. Any testing, any test design techniques begins just the same with mind mapping. Here you can see mind mapping from ICQ view. Here you can see a lot of types of technique of test design. So here's about 200 of them. Let's say conditionally it will be an application. Yes, sorry, equivalence classes. Yes. What does it mean? This boundary mind mapping. We take some software and begin to divide it. That is reduce and reduce and reduce. Let's say conditional, it will be an application for payments. We take its software and divide into different features. The registration pop-up, the payment pop-up is taken, and so on, so on. These pop-ups are divided into input and output fields. That is, the application is fragmented as much as possible. And this is what is done in the first place. It's mind mapping. Okay, yes, great fellows. Let's start with the first equivalence classes. The bottom line is that if a certain number of elements can be reduced to a common denominator, then there is no point in checking each of these elements. It's enough to take one representative. Okay, let's say the project has developed a system of promotion for buyers who make purchases in amount of $5,000 and above. And let's take a single currency for the convenience of continuing, since we are all from different countries and cities. So for purchases with a check of more than 5,000, there is a discount. So do we need to check every dollar? $2,000, then $2, $1, 2,000, 2, 3, and so on, so on. In this case, at least 5,000 tests need to be conducted there, and I believe more. So will take a huge amount of time and a huge amount of resources, and it will be extremely inconvenient. So we have to take one representative for the 5,000 and below, for example, $2,000, and one representative for the above, for example, $8,000. And we can take negative values and other like zero symbols, but equivalence classes means we can take only one representative for each classes. One class before 5,000 not included, and 5,000 and above included 5,000 is the second class. So we can take only one representative for each of them. Next one is boundary values. Here's from my experience, boundary values and equivalence classes is we have to combine them because they were similar but different. What is different? Okay, let's proceed to previous example with 5,000. Then we have to take representative not only 2,000 from this class and not only 8,000 for this class, but we have to take a boundary representative. That means $4,999, then $5,000 and $5,001 to test it. Because when the application switch from one condition to next one, there is a lot of possibilities to find a bug or broke something. So we have to test it. This about this boundary values techniques. Okay, and next one, decision making table. Imagine the situation. Yes, all examples and situations from my experience here today, okay? And they're a bit simplified for understanding for wide range of people from different specialization, okay? Imagine this situation. On a project, we are developing an application for a large store. If the system shares, the promotion applies to pensioners and Second World War participants. If a person is both a pensioner and a participant in the war, then in this case we need to be given a 20% of discount. Yes, if he is one but not the other, then 10%, and if he is neither one nor the other, then 0%. He is not entitled to discounts. Here we see that there are conditions. There is pensioner and Second World War participants. This applies to the first test situation. In test one, we take a person with an account that fits all parameters and must produce a visible expected result, as we would have issued it with 20% discount. Next come test 2, test 3, and test 4. This is a very simplified example. It serves for clarity so that it's as clear as possible. In fact, this technique is used in conditions where there are much more parameters, more condition, and much more diverse range of actions. Imagine there are still children, maybe some discount for them. Pregnant woman, maybe for them some discount. There are people who have a birthday and a lot of different data because of which you can get confused. So these techniques are very useful for this position. Okay, the last techniques for today's is today we will talk about 4 most important techniques, but there are a lot of them. I showed you more than 200, but it's enough for us today. And now Powerwise testing. According to the statistic of the same international association, SHKB, okay, it was revealed that 98% of errors, bugs, so-called account for placer to function, are used simultaneously. Let's take the registration form as an example, and so we see that first 3 fields are required. But checkbox not required. Here's full name, okay, contact number, email, and checkbox about agreeing to information processing policy. Okay, and what we do, we take the first 2 parameters, and this is the full name and contact number. Well, not going to detail now that the number should start with +7, +1, or should have 13 or 11 characters and so on. In different countries, we have different ways. We'll just say that this spell is valid, is exactly what is needed and valid. When we fill in letters, Chinese, Japanese hieroglyphs, symbols, this will be an invalid value. If we leave the field empty, then it will be called simply empty, okay? That is, in total, we have 3 situations, 3 conditions: valid, invalid, and empty. We sort out possible combination among ourselves, okay? We go further and add to the third parameter, email. We will not compare email with the full name. We don't need to do it. It's enough for us to compare with the contact number and sort out the possible options. In the same way, as an example, it's given here that we have added a third parameter that already reduces the number of tests that are required. And well, as a matter of fact, with the addition of new function, the amount of required testing volume decreases. Where hundreds of thousands of test cases could be needed, there may well be less than 10 or less than 9 test cases. It's really possible. It's fact. On one of our projects without this technique, according to a preliminary estimate, there were about 80,000 test cases. 80,000. Just imagine this number of test cases. But using the techniques of Powerwise and other, this amount was reduced to 30, just 13. Okay, 80,000 to 30. It's unbelievable for me and wondering me. I believe you too. Just think about it. How many people, how many days should sit and do testing? But thanks to these techniques, everything has become very easy, quickly, and coverage is maximized, taking into account the savings of all resources of the company. Yeah, it's great. Okay, and here we've finished with the test design techniques, and now let's talk about the medical part. What systems do you know in our body? I'll remind you that it can be the nervous system or cardiovascular system. I believe you know some of them. You can provide your thoughts. Please don't use Google. Just your thoughts. Feel free for it. I believe we know about them a bit. Okay. Nervous. Great. Great answer. Skeletal system, nice. Reproductive, yes. Reproductive. Blood system, right. Correct. Great. Nice. Okay. Brain, okay. Brain is a part of nervous system, nice. Eye system, okay. Very interesting, nice. Skeletal, respiratory, reproductive, excretory, nice. Yeah, etc. What does it mean, etc.? Please provide more thoughts then. Digestive, nice. Narrow. Immune, nice. Blood circulatory system. Digestive, yes. Digestive system, okay. Muscular. Brain system, nice. Blood, nerves, okay. Muscles, okay. Okay, nice. Let's proceed to the next slide. And let's take a look at the main 12 systems of our body. These are central nervous, peripheral, respiratory, circulatory, hematopoiesis, digestive, excretory, all what you said and some above, you can see here. It's the important part of us. All these systems together helps us to live, and our body consists of them. So, do you notice what we have just done right now? We took the human body and did mind mapping. The human body consists of 12 systems. Yeah, we can see them here. And do you understand this point? Okay, that is, we took the human body and divided it into a system, into something smaller. Yes, great job. Thank you. It's really interesting, the same way as we did it for our purchasing system in example before, provided before. So we can just say the body, or we can say the body system. This is a more detailed analysis. We are now doing the same thing that testers do. Follow this line as we lead it. Okay. Let's proceed a bit deeper, and let's take, for example, a couple of systems. For example, cardiovascular system and musculoskeletal system. Here's their consisting and their parameters are important for us. The cardiovascular system consists of heart, artery, and vein, and has parameters: pain in normal situation, normal condition, there is no pain, and pressure. In normal situation, 120 on 80, and let's see a bit deeper. Now, let's test cardiovascular system. In testing, we have different outcomes. Pain. What does it mean for us? If pain pressing, then we can report the bug, heart attack. Yes, here's no professional medical advices. Here's just symptoms and the diagnosis which can be related to it. Here's if human body has a pressing pain in the heart area, then we can provide a back heart attack. If there's stabbing pain, then we can provide report intercostal neuralgia back. And the last example, if we have an attack of suffocations, so we have to provide reporting about thromboembolism and about pressure. If in our parameter we have pressure above than 120, then we have to report a bug that's called hypertension. If less than 80, then hypotension. If 0, then there is a place for atonia, no pressure anymore. And let's get to next system, musculoskeletal system. Here's in normal condition, we don't have any pain, and let's say when the pain is bending, then we have to provide a bug which called pain spasm. It's about spasmology. Okay, when the pricing pain, then we have to call it stretching, and if color change, the most of cases it's about hematoma. This is bug too, because normal condition we don't have any, and we can provide for this system another testing, load testing, for example running. If when we run the musculoskeletal system and we have a bug crunch in the knees, we have to report it, or we can provide next testing, for example swimming, and we can have a bug cramp. Yes, cramps. Okay, and it's about the musculoskeletal system. In conclusion, yes, let's proceed to conclusion. I wanted to provide today for you the interesting mixed view of the two sphere, medicine and quality assurance. And why medicine? Because I'm from them. But you can take these all knowledges and this new approach. Maybe for someone it will be something unimaginable before previously, yes. So you can take it and use in other fields of your life. You can use it in interpersonal relationships. You can use it in finances, in repairing your car, or in all stuff in your career, or all that stuff, all your activities you do. Okay, and that was my goal, and I believe and I hope I did it. And now the most delicious part about gift. For all of us, for all of you who are still here and hearing me, now moderator provided in the chat for you. Please take a look at it. But if you are very impressible person, then please don't open it, because there are a lot of illustration and situation how we can provide the medicine cases to quality assurance cases, how we can use it to provide you more examples which can help you to use these approaches and this understanding to your activities, financial relationships, career, and other so on. Yes, this gift will be sent to your email or here in chat. I believe in email. Please check it after this activity, this presentation. And please, before scrolling down, when you open the PDF file, yes, the gifted PDF file, read first page. And when you will get down there, yes, scroll down, then you will take responsibility of illustration on your own. So, but there is very interesting illustration from medicine. Yes, hands-on illustrations. And the Q&A session, please. Thank you a lot. Provide your questions. Feel free for all stuff.
Okay, while we are waiting the questions, thank you, Rustam, for such a great presentation. I really enjoyed it. And we have here some couple of questions. So first question is, what test design techniques do you mainly use?
All test design techniques about that I said I use. Yes, I used to use it in my practicing, and they are more important and they are enough for everyday routines for the design strategy creating, and I believe it's a very good question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What test design technique have you used for testing the human body system?
Yes, the first of all, it's mind mapping. Then, interesting question. If does it mean about dental practicing? If yes, then I believe I can say it. I didn't know at that time about these techniques, but I used Equivalence classes for testing the symptomatic, and I testing decision table techniques when I asked a patient about his pain, and he answered me, and I making see what diagnose more related to it. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Alvaro is asking, what is the hardest part of being a tester?
Hardest part
Well, how do
being
you think?
test. I believe, as in all other fields, the hardest part is to start. After you started, the formed all your habits, then there is nothing hard, just a bit of routine. And here's two parts, okay? Thoughtfully part and routine part. When you have creating documentation, design techniques, test strategy, and other point, and when you have to do regression and all that stuff, yes, you have to understand these two part of testing.
Okay, thank you. So another question, are there situations when you are confused which test design technique to choose?
Yes, there was a situation when we tested the filter functionality, and there was a lot of functions which are related to each other, and if I correctly remind it, we used in total about 12 different test design techniques. Yes, it was the hardest one, and I believe this is the best answer for this question.
Okay, thank you. So how to start learning test design techniques? Advise some literature with test design techniques, best practices.
Yes, there is a lot of books, tutorials, and other literature, but I can recommend as for all my newcomers, new engineers on the products, and for you as well, is use the official STKView website where a lot of guides, and it will be more valuable for you, because all books and tutorial providing information from there from there a lot of books and tutorials. Yes. And you can use the book of Svetoslav Kulikov. There is the most structured information about that authorized QB.
Thank you, thank you. So, are there such techniques in medicine?
Can you repeat, please?
Are there such techniques in medicine? So, it's
In medicine, I believe in medicine we have more techniques and palpatory techniques when you have to just use your hands to see the pain area, and you have to use instrumental techniques and X-ray techniques and a lot of other stuff. Yes, it's more about medicine. Okay.
okay, thank you. There is interesting one more question. How would you explain integration testing and the monkey in medical domain?
Interesting question. Yeah, really. So I
Yeah.
can answer it in dentistry. As surgery, we often provide treatment for our patient, and in our plans was implantology, a lot of implantology, and we was every time when we have these patients, this situation with patients, when we have to give them implants to replace their tooth functionality because their teeth are broken or something like that. There is something like integration testing when we integrate the implants in the bone, yes, and after it, we have to see how it works. We have to use our surgery methods to replace implants in the first part. After it, we have to provide a bridge, after it, the crown. And all these steps are requires from us more a lot of attention for details, and before we can take next step, we have to verify if the previous one is really on his place. I mean, we have to make sure that all points with blood, with immune system is good before we can take next step. It's something like integration testing, I believe. Thank you. Interesting question.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Do I understand correctly that test design techniques should be described in the test strategy?
Could you repeat, please?
Okay. Do I understand correctly that test design techniques should be described in the test strategy?
Okay, test strategy and other test documentation is different project by project, and in some of them, yes, I described it in test strategy, and that's the right way in my opinion. But somewhere we don't describe it in test strategy, but somewhere we don't have the strategy at all. That's where this question depends on project, yes, and you have to discuss it with your team.
Okay, thank you. So the last question is about why do muscles hurt after training?
Can you repeat, please, some connection points?
Okay, why do muscles hurt after training?
Okay, it's about milk acids, which are produced by muscles after muscles work, yes, after training, and it's a normal outcomes of working our biochemistry system. Okay, and after some point, this milk acid can crystallize, and after it, when we use our muscles, our muscles can be, how to say, shaped by them. And other point is dividing our muscles in the time of training. That's the way how they grow. So this 2 point describes the most part of your question, but there are a lot of details. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That was the last question.
Here's I have another one in Mentimeter.
Okay.
Tell us about some curious cases in medicine. Okay, I can provide one interesting question from case from medicine when I had a patient from Germany, and he needs to eat some describes by doctor in 10 days, but he didn't understand it and eat all that stuff in 2 days. After it was very interesting situation because it provided him a lot of side flows, and there was nothing emergency, but it was a very curious situation. Yes. When I was student, this point was I worked in the clinic where a lot of foreign patients, and some of them, yes, they said yes, I understood, but in real point was they didn't understand all that stuff. So after this case, we're all making sure that all patients do understand all points. Yes.
Okay. One more question from Sergey. Did you use seal or cis-AL testing? What is the most valuable from your point of view?
Can you repeat, please?
Okay, connections. Okay, did you use a seal, or cis-AL testing? What is the most valuable from your point of view?
I believe the seal one, but I didn't use as much time to provide the confident opinion about it. Thank you for question.
So thank you, Rustam, for such a great presentation. And that was the last question.
Okay, thank you for these questions, but I have one more point for you. Just about next speech. Next speaker, Yulia Gerner, will talk about API testing. Very interesting to him. Very deep points from Yulia, and here's the link. Register right now because 22nd June at the time on the screen you can be part of this presentation. It will be great. I know Yulia, it's a very great part of us. Thank you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you. And one more point I would like to say to follow us for more such fun events, stories, our community on social networks, on Instagram and the Telegram. I just will share with the links. Please join us. Thank you for the session, Rustam, Lizaveta, and for all of us, for all of you also.
Thank you.
See you in next Tech Talk.